Hello and welcome to the Team Talk here on Hibs TV. It's the start of a new season, new hopes, new dreams, new ambitions, and it all gets underway at Easter Road from 4:30 this afternoon. Hello there, here we go again. My name's Gavin Rittoo and welcome to the Team Talk here live on Hibs TV. A new season, and who better to be stood by to preview it all than Yogi Hughes. Yogi, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Had a nice summer. Missed the football, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, how was your summer? What did you get up to?
Oh, golfing, Gavin. But that golf's that's for the professionals. I'm not very good, but I enjoy it, and it gets me out of the house, keeping fit. But really missed the football. Really enjoyed the World Cup. It was quite intriguing the way it developed. Was wanting England actually to do well because we've been brought up with the players, but once they started getting further in the competition, I know the pundits get on it and then they're going to win it, that's when it picks you off them. So, up and down, mixed bag, but delighted to be back here at Easter Road.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, new season, we got underway on Thursday night. We've been involved in Europe, but the first William Hill Premiership game for Hibs this afternoon. It's always an exciting time, the first game of the new season. What was it like for you as a player and a manager as well?
Yeah, I look forward to it. Really look forward to it. The most important thing was to come through pre-season unscathed, injury-free, and then when you play that first home game of the new season, you want to make sure you go out and put your marker down. It'll be a tough game playing Motherwell. They beat us last game of the season last year, so it'll be intrigued to see if they're the same football team as they were last year. But I don't think Hibs will not get beat today. I think Hibs will win it 2-1. And I was really impressed what I saw in Europe midweek. All the goals, or all our strikers scored a goal. That's very important. Strikers want to score a goal. It gets some momentum, gives them confidence. So that was a good place, and it was a good result for the boys. Could have been 7 or 8. Last 10 minutes they scored a goal, a little bit nerves, but never in doubt. The boys, really good performance.
Yeah, definitely. And just in terms of the first game of the campaign, you mentioned it sets a marker for the rest of the season. How important is it to get off to a good start, particularly for the fans coming back in? Everyone's got that sense of optimism and enthusiasm when you come into the first game.
That's it. That's 100%. You're doing that. You want to live up to that. You want to put a marker. I'm still a little bit old school for last year, what Hearts done last year and went very close to winning the title. For me, that's sort of saying, well, if they can do it, there's nothing stopping Hibs do it, and all credit to them. So you're looking at that and say, we want to try and achieve that. And it all starts today with the first game of the season. Last year we talked about it many a time. We just lost games that we should have won. Too many draws last year. But this year, hopefully that will not be the case, and we'll go and get the business done. There'll be times today we're going to have to dig deep, stand up to it. But there's a good physicality about Hibs. I've enjoyed that side to it. We can suck it up and we can break our team on teams. And I think we've found a cracker in the big boy Low up front. He wants a fight. He wants to feel the centre half. He wants to know where you are. He wants to fight. And I seen his interview when he first come to the club, and I just went, oh, that's interesting. For a young boy, what he did, so I'll tell you what I heard, what he says was he's not interested in playing any other position. He's a goal scorer, he wants to score goals. So when I was watching him on Thursday night, he's between the sticks. He scores goals. And I'm just hoping he has a wonderful season and scores the goals that he deserves.
Yeah, definitely. And we brought a few new faces into the
Many
squad.
is there? 5.
Yeah. But how important is that freshness? Because the manager's spoken a bit about freshening things up, keeping people on the toes, and the new settings certainly bring that.
Definitely. As long as she when you're winning, the players that are not playing cannot bang on the door because it's a winning team and you don't want to change a winning team. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it's horses for courses. And as long as that competition's healthy, then you're in a good place. And if we keep winning and getting confidence, momentum, and have the season that we're all hoping that we can have, and the players stay injury free, then I see Hibs having a real good season. And as I say, we've recruited very, very well. I like the look of them. We've still to see the one for Wigan. Is it right? He's picked up an injury. Yeah. Might see him today. But everything else that I've seen of the new signings, yeah, very impressed.
Yeah, definitely. Well, momentum is certainly heading in the right direction, and a big part of that was on Thursday night here against Malasheva. Let's take a look at the highlights from that one.
Good evening, welcome along to Easter Road as Hibernian host Kosovan side KF Malasheva in the second leg of the second qualifying round of the UEFA Conference League. David Gray's side have work to do after a frustrating afternoon in Pristina last Thursday as they look to overturn a 2-goal deficit with the backing of over 15,000 expectant Hibees here in Leith tonight. After securing back-to-back European qualification for the first time in 50 years, Hibs won't want to go down without a fight here in the capital. David Gray makes 2 changes to the side that fell to defeat in Eastern Europe, with Jason Kerr and Adam Mayer making their first competitive starts in green and white, replacing Grant Hanley and Jack Iredale respectively. The atmosphere is building as we close in on kick-off. Everyone inside the stadium with Hibs at heart will be hoping for another special European night under the lights here at Easter Road.
Tries the little slide pass, it's Owen Eldon, and there is the opening goal! Hibs' fast start is rewarded, and after 8 minutes, they've halved their deficit against FC Malasheva. It is Hibernian 1, Malasheva 0, 2-1 on aggregate to the Kosovans. Paslak drives it at goal, Nathan Lowe slides in block, back to Paslak! And just like that, Hibs have levelled this tie, not even 15 on the clock. It's 2-0, Paslak stroking home, Hibs 2, Malasheva 0, 2-all on aggregate.
I think it was fully deserved. I think when you think back to what we spoke about before the game and that reaction that I've seen in training, but it's one thing seeing it in training, can you then deliver that in the game where it really matters under pressure? And I thought the way we started the game was exactly that. You know, real intent, passed forward, ran forward, everything we spoke about, and gave the fans something to really get behind, which they certainly did. I thought the front three were really lively all night. They all got goals. It would work. 3 or 4 chances were probably we should have took.
Boyle delivers a cross, it bounces to the back post, Eldon's header, low, couldn't miss! And Hibs hit the front in this Conference League tie for the first time, and Nathan Lowe takes a bow because he has his first Hibernian goal. It is Hibernian 3, Malasheva 0, 3-2 on aggregate.
Really disappointed with what happened last week and making sure that there was a reaction. The players certainly delivered on that front and the fans responded to that. That is the best way to respond from a really poor result and performance last week. So, and I'm delighted for them because they deserved it. They deserve it for what they put in every day in training. But it's all well and good doing that. You need to then, take that into the pitch here. We certainly were a completely different animal tonight than we were last week. That's for sure. Which is pleasing. I know it's in there, and it's just a case of building on that now.
Ferrati, back to Boyle. Good footwork. Oh, it's brilliant. Martin Boyle still going. Martin Boyle. Oh, what a goal from the Hibs captain Martin Boyle, and you can bet he enjoyed that one. Vociferous celebration, silky dribbling skills, finished the match, and Hibs do have daylight in this tie. Hibs 4, Malasheva 0, 4-2 on aggregate.
The biggest thing for us tonight though is enjoying the fact that we're in the next round. That's job done on that front, and now we can look forward to the first league game of the season back here at home again, where we'll need to try and replicate that level of performance. Both clubs will be going into the game feeling good about themselves because they have managed to progress in Europe. So we know it'll be a tough test. It's one that we can now look forward to. It's one that we're at home. We want to get the season off to a real positive start if we can, and we've got an opportunity to do that.
To the fullback, he takes a strike. Oh, what a goal! Brilliant from Bayraktari, and Malasheva have a moment to celebrate at Easter Road. Hibs were embarrassed in Kosovo a week ago, and they have redeemed themselves on Easter Road this evening. Hibernian will march on into the third rounds of qualifying for the Conference League, because at Easter Road it finished Hibernian 4, AFC Malasheva 1, and 4-3 on aggregate.
Yes! Come on!
Yes, 4-1 it finished on the night, Yogi. A brilliant performance, particularly that first half. Really came out the chaps flying and got what we deserved.
Yeah, the intensity was evident for the first whistle. All set by the captain, Boiler, on the night. You know, he was an angry man. He was, you know, I thought you need to calm down a little bit. You might see a yellow card. But as I say, great result. Got the business done. A little bit 10 minutes at the end when they scored, but it was only 1-1. It could have been 7 or 8, and really good performance. So, as I say, to do that, you know, and get the job done early doors, very good.
Yeah, how important was that fast start? Because obviously with the disappointment of the first leg, we knew that we had to come out, put on a performance in front of the fans, give the fans something to cheer, and we certainly did that.
I mean, get your goal in the first 10 minutes, that gets them right behind you, you know. But I just felt Hibs had something to prove. I think with the disappointment in the first leg, they come out here and say, right, we'll show you. And that was evident, you know, the way they went about the intensity, getting about people, pressing for the front. And as we say, you're looking for all your strikers to score, and the three of them got their goals. So hopefully that'll be us in good stead going forward, and a wee bit more of the same today.
Yeah, it kind of does highlight the importance. Look, obviously the result away in Kosovo wasn't good enough, but it shows it is two legs, and European games it's played over 180 minutes at least, and it will give us good confidence, not just going into today, but also for the rest of the European campaign, and trying to become the first Hibs team to ever get to the group stage.
Yep, that's it. That's the agenda. That's what's in front of us. Don't look too far in front of yourself. Just look at today. Make sure, but scoring goals and playing well and playing with that intensity, you know what the benchmark is. And if we can do that today against Motherwell and get a good victory, then it sets you up for Europe. You know, I think there's a lot of resilience in that team. I think the players that we've signed, you know, we've no mentioned Jason Kerr. He's a double Scottish Cup winner. You know, when he was at St Johnstone, down south, doing at Wigan, and all that experience down there. Hibs supporter, you know, absolutely fantastic. So the club is trending in the right direction. And us as supporters, it's our job to get behind them. Through good times, bad times, we need to get behind them and play our part, because if we do, and everything that we've talked about with winning games, confidence, momentum, this could be a cracking season. Yeah,
for sure. And we've seen it here at Easter Road before, but you know, it was another one on Thursday night, memorable European nights, and under the lights, it just brings such a feel-good factor around the place.
It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I joined it last year, you know, the games were different class. It takes a lot out of you because you're going 2 games in, you know, in the 7 days, but it's a case of bring it on, isn't it? That's why you know, if you look at the World Cup, you know, most of the time in between games it's recovery, and Hibs will not be any different. All the hard work's done in pre-season. It's just about recovery, doing it right, and bringing the games on. And anybody at Easter Road, we're more than capable of beating them.
Yeah. Did you find that as a player? Because when you speak to players, a lot of them say that they actually like, you know, playing more games. They'd rather be playing than training. Did you find that as a player?
Yeah, it was always the games that switched me on. You know, I enjoyed the training, but it was always the games up for it. You know, you've got that. You're waking up in the morning, you know it's something special. You don't want to let the fans down, and always try to play like an underdog. And to do that, you know, it was a mindset. I always I've got something to prove. And these boys will be doing that. You know, saying that, we're the squad right now. We've talked about it at Easter Road right now. If you're not doing the business, you'll not be in the team. So you're looking over your shoulder. And as long as it's healthy, and we're winning, then we're in a right good spot.
Yeah, definitely. Right, not long to go until kick-off now. We're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll get the pre-match thoughts from David Gray and Martin Boyle. Back in a couple of minutes.
shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Welcome back to the Team Talk here live from Easter Road. Motherwell are today's visitors on opening day, and it's not the first time we played Motherwell on opening day. We did so 8 years ago, and here's a reminder of the action back in 2018. Yes, 3-0 it finished to Hibs the last time we played Motherwell on the opening day of the season. That was back in 2018. Yogi, what were you up to in 2018? You would have been coaching.
I would have been coaching. I think I might have been, it would either be Ross County or Dunfermline. Yeah. But that was a great result, and I say hopefully we can get the same today.
Yeah, we saw there back in 2018, Martin Boyle was still playing. The gaffer, David Gray, he was playing as well. It's good to still have a few faces from back then.
Was David still playing?
Yeah.
How did we win 3-0?
I'll tell you said that. I'll tell you said that.
To be fair, defender, clean sheet, that's all we're looking for. Strikers want to score goals, defenders want to keep a clean sheet, so well done, David.
Yeah, and that was one of a few opening day victories, and we were just talking about it earlier. It can bring such feel-good factor and momentum into the rest of the season. But looking at Motherwell today, we obviously played them the last game of last season, and it didn't go our way. Will that give us an extra incentive ahead of today?
Yeah, 100%. And if you look at Motherwell, they've lost 3 or 4 players. They've lost the best one for me, the boy Just. That went down to Swansea, good bit of business. I think it was 6 million you got for him. Excellent bit of business. He was fantastic last game of the season. He played centre forward, and he was dropping back into midfield, and we found it very, very difficult how to pick him up. I don't think that'll be the case today. I like what we've got. I think we've got great intensity in midfield with Mulligan and Charwa in midfield. Great intensity. We've got good legs up front. We've got a bit of physicality. All round, Hibs are in a right good place. Kept because with that 5 at the back, it's keeping a clean sheet, sucking it up. And when we I felt we passed it really well the other night there as well. I really felt we passed it really well. So, as I say, Hibs are trending in a right good way, and hopefully today we can get that victory.
Motherwell was in fact the only team last season that we didn't beat. Everyone else in the Premiership we managed to beat. Motherwell was the only team that didn't beat, and the manager's mentioned it a few times. I know he's spoken about it internally, but that will give another edge to the motivation.
I'm quite sure if the manager will mention that in his team talk. This is a team we never beat last year. Let's go and get the business done. Let's put that marker down. And I can only see one winner. I don't think Hibs will get beat today. I think Hibs will win it. I'm going for 2-1, but I can't not see Hibs getting beat.
But you talked about, over the summer there's been change. Motherwell have had a lot of change in manager, losing some key players as well. But I guess the message will be not to be complacent, because they're still a good side. They were involved in Europe, had a convincing win in Europe in midweek as well, so it'll be a very tough nut to crack.
Really. And I heard the wee rumour that the manager's not trying to change it. He's trying to take on board what the previous manager had done, play that same style of football, and that's great, brilliant. That's the way I like to see football played. But when you're losing the quality of players that Motherwell have lost, it's very difficult to replace that. And it's up to Hibs to get at them. If we start off with the intensity, which we did on Thursday night, then Motherwell will be on the back foot. And that's what we want. We're at home, we need to be on the front foot, get after teams, and hopefully that'll be the case today. And as I say, I'm looking forward to it. Big season for Elding. We talked about him last year, as a player. I have to say, I really enjoy watching him. And we've said this many times, he's too honest. If you watch what I just mentioned, the big boy Lowe, he's between the sticks, he wants to score goals. Elding's so much for the team, he got his goal, he should have scored another couple, but he's doing the channels, he's up, he's back into midfield, and he's an all-rounder, which doesn't help his case in scoring the goals, but I think he's quite happy playing that part as long as he's playing, and hard work comes easy for him. Yeah,
definitely. He's got a really bright future ahead of him, Owen Elding. Right, not long to go now until kick-off, building up to our first game of the William Hill Premiership campaign. Now it's time to get the pre-match thoughts from David Gray. I spoke to him on Thursday night.
We certainly were a completely different animal tonight than we were last week, that's for sure, which is pleasing. I know it's in there, and it's just a case of building on that now.
Yeah, now into the next round, a trip to North Macedonia awaits.
It does. Again, it'll be a completely different test, a different challenge. The biggest thing for us tonight, though, is enjoying the fact that we're in the next round. That's job done on that front, and we can now the attention fully changes towards Motherwell at the weekend.
Yeah, you mentioned Motherwell. Then they also got through in Europe. What do you expect from them on Sunday, the first game of the new season, and a lot of excitement and momentum building for that?
Yeah, so obviously congratulations to them for getting through. You always want the Scottish clubs to do well in Europe, so that's positive. Both clubs will be going into the game feeling good about themselves because they have managed to progress in Europe. They've started well. They've got a new manager, so they'll a different way of playing slightly potentially, but I do think they're quite similar to what they were last season, and rightly so because of how they performed. So we know it'll be a tough test. It's one that we can now look forward to. It's one that we're at home. We want to get the season off to a real positive start if we can, and we've got an opportunity to do that.
Nice one, Dave. Well done tonight.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yes, that was David Gray speaking to me after our victory on Thursday night. Yogi, the gaffer, was obviously delighted to progress in Europe, now coming into his third season in charge of Hibs. I mean, and in 3 seasons we got a third place finish, 5th place last year, and really developed a kind of sense of continuity and stability under the gaffer.
Yeah, 100%. You can see that. The next step, as I say, is to go and try and get that silverware. But I've always said, when you're the manager of Hibs, I think the remit is to try and get to the latter stages of the cup competitions. Hopefully you can win it, as we did with the Scottish Cup in 2016, and always finish in that European spot in the league. And we're doing that. David lives up to it, you can see he's a Hibs man. And I like the way he goes about his business. As you see, if you're in the team and you're doing the business, he'll keep you in the team. So hopefully that continues. We just keep doing what we're doing. The recruitment has been really good over the last few years. We've really, 1 or 2 have went. We've done good business with Bowie, 1 or 2 others. But in terms of recruitment, bringing players in to go into the first team, it's been very, very good.
And I mentioned he's going to his 3rd season, and in modern football, I think there's only one manager in the league that's been there longer than him.
Will he be the longest serving?
There'll be John McGlynn at Falkirk and Jim Goodwin as well, and then it'll be David Gray. But because it's quite rare these days with the amount that clubs chop and change their managers, so it's good to have that.
It's all about stability. It's everybody thinks it's all about winning. We totally get that, and if you're winning, you've got to keep your job. But sometimes you just need to take a step back and look, see, where are we going? What are we doing? Are we doing it right? Have I got the right people in place? And if I was any criticism whatsoever to the ownership, I just felt they maybe have pulled the trigger a little bit too quick on 1 or 2 managers. So they probably learn from that and says, no, this guy's Hibs born and bred, you know, you cut him open, it's green. That's what you're wanting. We've got a good coaching staff, good academy. Hibs are trending in a right good place, so, you know, and we're a good leadership in David Gray, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And talk about stability, one player who's been here a while now is Martin Boyle. He obviously extended his deal, a one-year deal at the end of last season as well. And we caught up with him on Thursday night after he extended his record, goal-scoring European record.
I always try to get my shots away, so I felt good tonight. But like I say, the most important thing was boys getting the confidence up with goals. Obviously we missed a few chances last week, so yeah, we can take that into Sunday and we can certainly go again.
And as you mentioned, Sunday at Motherwell, how much are you looking forward to that one? And we're going in there with a lot of confidence now as well.
We are, but so are they, I believe. They've got a positive result, which is good. Obviously good for the league and Europe, but certainly one that we'll be looking to correct from last season when they beat us here. Obviously this is our place. We want to win every game here and get off to a fantastic start of the season.
Just finally, how good will it be to have our first home game here at Easter Road in front of the fans who were brilliant again tonight?
Yeah, brilliant. And I'd just like to say personally, obviously night and day from last week. Can only apologise for the performance. We made it right this week, and thank you for the numbers that came out. Really appreciate it. Got behind us from the start, which is perfect, and that gives us motivation and a buzz to progress. And hopefully the same numbers come out on Sunday, and we can get another positive performance.
Thanks for your time, Boyle.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yes, that was Martin Boyle speaking to Hibs TV after he extended his record goal-scoring European record. 10 goals now he's scored in Europe for Hibs. Yogi, what a player he's been.
That's the best signing. That's the best signing. There was rumours of him leaving towards the end of the season. There'd been a fallout, and all of a sudden he's re-signed another year's deal. That's the best signing. And looking at him the other night, he looks as fit, as sharp as I've ever seen him. You know, he's had a few injuries over the years. He seems to recover very, very quickly. And if he showed the form that he showed the other night there with his goal, but his all-round performance and his intensity, you know, he had the captain's armband on, sets an example. That's the Hibs' best signing this year.
You could
keep
tell
him fit.
You could tell he had the bit between his teeth.
What was it? I wonder what it was.
Well, I guess I imagine Boyle's had a difficult summer not getting picked for Australia, so he's probably got a point to prove, but we certainly saw that on Thursday night.
Well, that's it, that's what I'm saying, and you know, I was always, when I played, I was always self-motivated, try to play the underdog, and you know, that siege mentality, picking a fight, and it's great, it's a great mindset to go out on the pitch with saying, I've got something to prove here, and that was certainly the case the other night there. So the same today, I've got a wee sneaky feeling. I've said to him when I do the tables and around all the punters and all the supporters, I'm not a gambler, and I say, always put Boyle down for the first goal. He takes a penalty, he always gets a goal. No matter what your score is, if you're going for the score and goal scorers, get Boyle down for the first goal.
Please gamble responsibly and all
that. Yeah, 100%.
You'll give us pretty much out of time, but we're just chatting off camera there. Look at that pitch; it's absolutely fantastic.
We're not getting a groundsman Stephen any accolades. You've talked about holidays. There's one guy that's not been on a holiday, and that's our groundsman Stephen. If you look at that pitch, it's like an AstroTurf. So well done to him. He's certainly everything that you need at a football club. Somebody that, you know, want to do the job properly. So well done, Stephen.
Yeah, well done, Stevie. Okay, right, nice one. That is all we got time for, Yogi. I was going to press you for your prediction, but you've told me 2-1 and Boyle first goal.
2-1, Boyle first goal.
Okay, right, perfect. Right, well, I'll leave you to go because I know you're on commentary duties and hospitality duties and everything else in between. So thank you very much for joining us. And thank you, everybody, for watching at home on Hibs TV. We hope you have a great day and enjoy the game. See you all very soon.
shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.